You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, I'm pretty sure many of you guys actually know that the Supreme Court in the UK said that transgenders, as in transgender women, aren't actually women. Yeah, crazy times we're living in, folks, where the Supreme Court has to make a ruling on what is a woman. We've always known what a woman is, and I'm pretty sure everybody on the planet actually knows what a woman is, but some people don't want to offend a certain set of people. And what happened? You had the trans invasion of mainly women's sports. It's been everywhere, but the world is healing itself. The Supreme Court of the UK said, nah, you're not women. And that's just the way it is. Now, we've already talked about how Ultimate Pool has decided, you know what? The Supreme Court is right. We're not going to allow any more of these males to play in Ultimate Pool. Because actually, guys, the back-to-back champ in the women's division, the women's category in Ultimate Pool, was a man, identifying as a woman. And the final featured no women because he actually competed against another transgender. Now, when it comes to the London Marathon, well, guess what's going to happen? Even though now the UK apparently actually knows what a woman is now, the London Marathon said, nah, we're not going to listen. They're going to allow the trans invasion of the London Marathon to continue. However, there's certain races that the transgenders can't actually compete in because I believe the governing body is actually a World Athletics, which has said, nah, no transgenders. So let's go ahead, guys, and get into this. Here we go. Right over here. Trans runners will be allowed to compete in the London Marathon as women despite Supreme Court ruling as event organizers boycott X. Yeah, they don't like X, man, because Elon Musk owns X. But anyway, transgender women, aka men, will still be allowed to run in the London Marathon as females, despite a Supreme Court ruling that they are not legally women. As race organizers revealed, they had been boycotting X since the start of the year. And I'm pretty sure, guys, they're not going to be posting about any of this on X. I didn't even look it up. But anyway, race director Hugh Brasher, whose father Chris co-founded the marathon in 1981, confirmed that those taking part in a mass marathon event would be allowed to self-identify as male, female, or non-binary. I don't believe that these people should really be, let's just say, for example, you're a man. You know what, this year I just want to run against the women. I'm a woman. Sign me up for the female category. That's just crazy, right? But anyway, transgender women are not, however, eligible to enter the elite championship or good for age female races as per rules set by World Athletics. Yeah, that's the governing body for that. But, in just the regular marathon, hey, come one, come all, and dominate the women. Completely crazy. Brasher added during a press conference on Wednesday that London Marathon events have been boycotting social media platform X since January because it had become too vitriolic and had descended into the gutter since coming under the helm of Elon Musk. Well, we already know where the political leanings of the London Marathon are. Down the left. Just that simple. But anyway, the world's richest man and ally of U.S. President Donald Trump has been a vocal critic of trans women competing in female sport. Clarifying the rules around eligibility, Brasher said, quote, to take part in championship, elite, or in any age group prizes, they have to be birth women, women as defined by the courts. To take part in the mass event, it is a self-selection, which is still crazy. But anyway, do I know the exact numbers of transgender women running? No, because it is a self-selection. How do you check? People are asked to provide ID, but your ID can be your passport. Your passport could say your gender, and your gender can say female, even if you were born male. This is complex. So I guess in the UK, if you're a male, they actually allow you to change your passport to like female. I mean, I believe there's some states over here that probably let them actually change their driver's license, but I'm not really sure. But I believe President Trump, he put a stop to that here in the U.S. when it comes to like passports. And some people got a rude awakening when they found out, hey, you can't just self-identify as to whatever you want. I believe they're actually just putting X as like a gender on some passports under the Biden administration. Yeah. But anyway, in 2023, Glenique Frank, who was born male but identifies as a woman, caused controversy after competing in marathons in New York and Tokyo as a man. But just weeks later, was permitted to enter the London Marathon mass event as a woman. So he was competing with men. Then weeks later, he just decided, you know what? I just want to go ahead and dominate the women. Wow. The personal trainer from Nottingham later apologized for competing in the female category and promised not to do so again until undergoing surgery. Well, that doesn't really change anything. In a landmark verdict last week, judges at the Supreme Court ruled that a woman should be defined by biological sex in the Equality Act, something which is likely to have major implications in sport. However, Brasher said the London Marathon would not update its policy until the Equality and Human Rights Commission and Sport England have issued their own new guidance in the summer. Quote, we will meet what the law says, but there has to be that detail coming out, said Brasher. It is really difficult to predict what we would do. I've gone through loads of different scenario planning since the court delivered its verdict, but we have to wait until the commission gives its report. We delight in being both inclusive, but also protecting in competition the rights of women, which is incredibly important. No, you're not. You're not protecting the competition rights of women. You're allowing men to race with the women. That's not fair. But it goes on. The London Marathon has been very clear on protecting women's rights. That's a lie. That's women from birth in terms of competition. Really? But you're allowing males. And this is a picture of Glenique Frank right there. Yeah, I think I remember actually doing a video on this. Now that I actually look at this picture right here. Yeah. So I don't know if there's another picture there, but yeah, that's a male. So what do you guys think of this, man? The London Marathon, nothing's really changing. Absolutely nothing is really changing. They're going to continue to allow these males to compete against the women when the court has already said these people are not women. They're not legally women. They're not biologically women. But they're going to just let the men go out there and do it anyway. Wow. Not surprising, man. This is the UK. So that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.